Okay, now comes the part where we bullshit about things that we've been watching while on this lockdown / quarantine / whatever the fuck we're going to call it. What?
You have a beer? Well, time out. Time out. Garrett needs a beer.
All right.
You got it?
Game on.
Game
Sorry,
on.
How did you miss that, bro?
Game on?
Seriously. Sure. So,
Game
Steve,
on. Yes.
what have you been watching lately?
Not a whole lot too much. I've been working a lot, so it's kind of hard to watch some stuff. But I have dedicated some time to watch some Netflix movies. I watched Spencer Confidential. That's a right movie. It's not too bad on Netflix. It was a Netflix original.
What the fuck is that?
Spencer Confidential.
What the fuck is that? That doesn't help, dude. You repeating the title does not help.
No, it's with it's like a Boston.
You've heard that metal band, right?
Yeah,
Spencer Confidential.
Spencer Confidential.
Yeah, it's like an emo.
It's a
band,
Boston film
Sounds like
movie.
a
It's kind of like a crime movie. It's pretty good. It's not bad. I wouldn't watch it a second time, but watch it once. You watch it
It's
once.
like Departed
it's
if
good.
it was complete shit.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's got a lot of action in it. It's pretty good. I also watched Ozark.
There,
on Netflix.
I think half of America can relate
I-
to this
I've-
one.
I
You
finally-
watched Ozarks.
Finally started watching Ozark.
Have you seen it yet?
No, I have
Dude,
not. I have not watched Ozark.
I'm on season 1, and
That's it?
I got 2 more episodes left
Oh,
in
damn it!
season
Now
1.
I can't talk about it.
No, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it.
Just no spoilers.
No,
that's
no
all.
spoilers. I just started
Half
watching
that
it.
show is spoilers.
But it's a really good show if you like crime and drug stuff.
If you like crime and drug
it's
stuff.
a good one. It's a good
Neither
one.
one I commit, so just throwing that out there.
Just take my advice. It's good. It's a good show.
Season 1 different than season 3.
Yeah.
For those of you that have seen it, okay, how was the season finale of season 3? Just holy crap!
It's crap. Yeah.
No, it's really
It's good.
No,
It's just a bunch of like oh shit moments, right?
at the end I was legitimately
end?
like Okay,
All right, well, don't
I
tell
can't-
me more. Don't tell me
Oh,
more.
it's fantastic.
I love season 1. It's a slow builder, but I'm very intrigued in the
gets a lot
characters. Characters
better.
are really good.
Yes, they are.
They are really good. I enjoy the characters. Other than that, I've been watching like my DC, superhero shows on CW. Still watching The Flash and
You ever run out of
Legends of
episodes of
Tomorrow.
those yet? Huh?
they're still good. They're still going. They're
But
still
you ever
rolling.
run out of episodes of those yet? They just go on for
They
fucking ever.
Go on forever. They go like 36 episodes deep in one season.
As you can see, the decor behind you
Yes,
probably
sir.
speaks to that. But
We still. Love
I'm gonna get
DC.
off the superhero bandwagon.
What do you got going on?
It's
What are you
an oldie-
watching?
It's an oldie but a goodie. But F is for Family. I know the new season hasn't come out yet. But
Yeah.
have either of you seen
It's called
What's
what?
it called?
F is for Family?
Oh, I know
Bill
what you're talking
Burr
about. I have
special.
not seen it, but the anime series, right?
No,
Fantastic.
no, I have not.
Like, just sit there, binge watch it. If you like crude cartoons with a really edgy portion, I mean, it's just really well-written comedy. I'm a huge fan of Bill Burr and just really
Yes,
good.
you are.
Yeah?
Really good dynamic that goes along with it. A lot of, because my wife is no stranger to Amazon or my credit card, one of the movies we watch as a group was 1917. I don't know if either
Oh
of you
God, I
have-
want to see it so
I
bad.
still want to see that
I
one.
want to
too.
see it so bad.
1917, yeah.
It's really well done,
Yeah.
but the cinematography is what really carries the
Yeah.
film. I mean, it's like insert war movie here, but the music and the cinematography is really what carries
Yeah,
it. So
I really want to
And
see
that's
that.
why I want to see it.
it
Really,
was good for what it was. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not gonna crap on it. I mean, I understand why it got the awards that it did, but it's a different take on the World War I analogy.
There you go. Yeah. What about you? Chris?
so you want to talk about an oldie but goodie?
Yeah.
What do you got?
I started watching the Larry Sanders Show on HBO.
Bringing it way back.
Oh damn, bro.
Yep.
Shit.
Talk about an amazing experience. This isn't the first time I've watched it. I've watched it before. But
Yeah.
every time I watch it, I'm reminded about how brilliant this fucking show is. So most people have not seen it. I know for a fact that the vast majority of people of the 10 that are watching this, 9 of you haven't seen it. 9.5 of you haven't seen it.
I know my buddy Ryan Shores is probably the only one that's seen it in his group, but
Amazing. If you like The Office, and just background, part of the reason why I started watching it is my daughter really loves The Office. She loves that show. And I'm like, if you love this, you need to watch Larry Sanders Show. Because I feel like in watching The Office, a lot of it is influenced by the Larry Sanders Show. Now, the Larry Sanders Show is not a mockumentary like The Office is, but the ideas behind it and a lot of the comedic beats and elements of it are taken from the Larry Sanders, so heavily influenced by it. This is one of the most underrated shows as far as its influence, because when it came out, shows like Curb Your Enthusiasm, The Office, Modern Family, so many shows are influenced by this. And to me, I'm a traditionalist, I guess. They're not as good, but you know.
And his music and his art.
Yes. They're not as good. And if you want to see something that is just pure brilliance in character and writing and just pure comedic timing and awkward humor, and it is all about the awkward humor of just shit that makes you uncomfortable and makes you laugh because it's just the way it's placed. The Larry Sanders Show is second to none, and it's so worth a watch. So if you have HBO, you can't go wrong with watching that if you're looking for a good comedy show. For my money, there's nothing better. Other than that, still trying to get through all the James Bond movies.
Where are you at right now? Where are you at? What
just watched Casino Royale.
Okay. Yeah.
A fantastic
So you got
film.
what? Quantum Solace.
Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, and Spectre. So we're getting there.
Yeah.
Getting there.
You're getting there.
Getting there. Watch however many we watched. Yeah. It's been a lot, but you know what? I love them. They're fucking fantastic.
Yeah, they're good movies. Good movies. I love Casino Royale.
It's fantastic.
That's an awesome scene.
Yeah. Favorite Bond of all time?
Favorite actor or favorite Bond?
Favorite which one?
Because I think there's a difference.
Stutter. Favorite Bond of all time?
Because the movie plays a part in it. It's not just the actor, it's also the movie.
That is a hard.
See how we can't just break it down
No,
on a
we really
simplistic level?
can't. We gotta get stupid.
Writing a thesis on what the actual Bond villain means to me. It's very easier for me. It's a different generation, depending on how old you are when you're watching this. Pierce Brosnan. I like Daniel Craig, but Pierce Brosnan to me is the Bond.
So here's the thing:
it's so hard to fucking.
I love GoldenEye. GoldenEye is one of my favorite Bond movies,
and a great N64 game.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. So going back and watching them. By the way, anytime you have a chance to go back and watch all the Bond movies, you should 100% do it, because I swear to God, every time I do it, I get a different perspective on a lot of them.
Interesting.
Maybe not on every single one, because there's a lot, but.
What, 20?
But there's a lot where when I watch them, I'm like, oh shit, like there's an aspect of it. So Pierce Brosnan ones, for example. So GoldenEye has always been my favorite.
Sure.
Watching them again, it's still the best Pierce Brosnan one. But Tomorrow Never Dies was always my second favorite, right? So
you're already on the Pierce Brosnan bandwagon.
Yeah.
So.
Hold on. My second favorite Pierce Brosnan one, not my second favorite Bond movie. Tomorrow Never Dies is my second favorite Pierce Brosnan movie.
I wasn't asking for your doctorate on Bond. This
is complicated.
This is very, very
hard.
hard.
Stop me if you can't follow along, but you can't stop me, so it's okay. So, but I never had much love for The World Is Not Enough.
Okay.
I never really liked it. It was probably my least favorite Pierce Brosnan one, but going back and watching it again, I actually liked it probably almost as much.
Minds want to know who's the favorite Bond.
You know the movie The World Is Not Enough? Reason why I really like that movie, I saw that movie when I was like 10 or 11. And there's a scene in there where Pierce Brosnan is in the bed with the chick in the movie.
One of the
chicks in the movie.
Like,
and like she turns and you can kind of see a nipple. And I remember pausing that in the VHS when I was 10 or 11. And it was like, oh, I see a nipple. That's my favorite movie right there.
This is the quality of entertainment you get on
So this is why they invited guests. I'm like trying to bring this up on my back a little bit, bring a little highbrow humor.
Newsflash.
We didn't have Pornhub
Newsflash
back in 2001 or what was it, 1999?
Stop talking. You've said enough. Newsflash to all of you: we like nipples.
Yes, sir. Very much.
So anyway, The World Is Not Enough, I actually ended up liking it a lot. You know, it's kind of like this conversation died, you know, and I blame you.
You're welcome, sir. But I did like the boat scene in the very beginning.
Was there a nipple there?
No, there was not a nipple there. But
was there an ass cheek there?
Probably.
It's a whole different denomination. Again, gentlemen, your favorite Bond of all time.
Stop! I can't name a favorite of all time.
Bullshit!
No, I can't. I can't because I like all of them in their own different ways. You want me to get deep into it? They don't want it. Do you want it?
No.
Okay, then really fuck off. Then don't ask for a favorite.
They're all different in their ways, yeah.
I will bow to your expertise, but I'm scared and grasping
a
beer
not.
at the same time.
Stop
Give him 30 seconds.
Sean Connery. It's really good.
I immediately regret the decision.
Did I do a Sean Connery bird? Nah, that's horrible. That's horrible. That's horrible.
Yes, Sean Connery is good.
Yeah.
He's good.
In that
He's
white
great.
beating aspect.
You know what? Hey, you're not wrong. But it's it's the sign of the times,
Yeah,
right?
It is.
He's a good actor.
He's a good actor. He is.
But
especially I like him in the what was that movie? Where like superhero movies and the Legend.
The League of Extraordinary
Gentlemen. Yeah, League of Extraordinary
Gentlemen. Can I ask you a question?
Really good movie. I enjoyed it.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What the fuck are we talking about that?
Is
this a James Bond segment?
I don't know.
Or is this a fucking Sean Connery superhero segment?
We're Sean Connery.
This whole show's gone off the rails, and apparently the guest is the one that's going to be driving the conversation for a little bit. So
no,
I
because you're the guest.
My porn stash is
who's your favorite Bond?
Like I still have not gotten a good answer.
Because it's
hard.
It's a shitty question. That's why.
How was it a shitty question?
Because there are elements that are good in each one. We're not internet trolls here. No. We're not gonna be like Sean Connery's the best, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
I didn't say die on the hill. I said, what's your favorite Bond? I was very quick and easy with my response.
No.
If you don't like it, come at me. I don't care.
I'm coming at you because to me there is gray area there. I'm sorry, Captain fucking 90s Pierce Brosnan lover.
Captain 90s.
So love that.
If I told you Daniel Craig, you would have jumped all over me.
I do.
You're
love,
right.
I do love Daniel Craig stuff.
He's fantastic.
It's really fantastic.
But you know what?
It's good stuff.
Getting back to my original spiel before I was so rudely interrupted by these two douchebags. I love me some Pierce Brosnan. I love GoldenEye. I found a new appreciation for The World Is Not Enough. But you know what? I still love Dr. No. To me, that's one of the best James Bond movies. Yeah. I love Goldfinger, Thunderball, From Russia with Love. I want to give some love. I want to give a little bit of love to the guy that nobody ever gives love to.
Who's that?
Roger Moore. I'm going to give some love to Roger Moore.
Who? Nothing wrong with that.
I love me some Roger Moore, man. The Spy Who Loved Me, Live and Let Die. You don't act like you've watched all the James Bond movies.
I have not.
Do you even know who Roger Moore is?
Can you please tell him?
Who?
What? I don't think he's fucking around. Can you please tell him?
So Roger Moore started more James Bond movies than anybody else.
Okay.
Not that really means anything, because most of them aren't that good.
Well, I mean...
No, that's why I said who?
Come on. No, I love me some Roger Moore. I really do.
That's like asking who's the favorite Batman. Because it could be just as controversial. I mean, we got a few things up here as far as, I don't know if Batman's in focus, but...
He's right there.
All right.
That's another episode. That's
come on. Inquiring minds want to
wait. Hold on. Before we stop, I also want to give some love to my man Timothy Dalton. Yeah. I do love The Living Daylights. Great James Bond movie.
Again, who?
So... Again,
Chris is like the coach that just wants to give a trophy to everybody. Everybody was involved. Everybody's special, and everybody's relevant.
Participation trophies.
Yeah.
Is there anything wrong with that?
Yes, in movies there is. You die on a hill and you have a fucking
in everything there is. No. Fuck you, dude. You can love equal ones on equal planes. I'm not even sure what I just said. So anyway, about Batman.
Again, that's another.
Hey, just for the record,
it's generational.
For the record, Batman's a pussy.
Oh shit! Really?
How fucking?
You're Superman, right?
Yeah,
do I look like Superman?
Batman can fucking easily
God, I don't wanna
fucking
have
destroy
to-
Superman.
No,
Did you watch
we're
Justice
off
League?
the rails.
Justice League War?
Stop it.
Nobody watched Justice League.
Stop
You know
it.
why? Because DC
War.
fucked it up.
War.
it.
Animated movie.
Nobody
War.
cares.
Stop it.
Fucking dumbass.
Stop it. Stop it. This just really
There's
went
no,
off the rails.
there's not a beer in the.
As soon as some douchebag suggests that Batman can beat up Superman without the help of kryptonite, I will lay down my arms and I will lay down my beer and I will never do it again. And you know what? And then I'll listen to that Tesseract album. I'll put on his glasses. I'll get that haircut, even though it's not possible. And I will lick my balls the same way he does. But until that point.
Justice League War.
When they
Watch
fight,
it.
I own it. When they fight Darkseid.
Was it War or was it
Yeah, get your movie straight.
Fuck!
Fucking
I forgot my
dipshit.
Justice League movie.
So don't watch that movie
No,
during
watch
your
that
COVID-19 crisis. But we want to hear about your favorite movies you've been watching during this time.
Yeah.
I have kids, and just to bring it on a different level, my wife tried to get me to watch Trolls 2, which if you've never seen
Trolls 2?
Trolls 2.
that abomination is about as worse as any kind of Slipknot album you ever heard in your life. So
Anything Corey Taylor's ever done.
I
Just
love
revises
Corey
that.
Taylor. Good man. Good man.
all right.
Met him. Got
But-
his autograph.
What is the worst movie you guys have seen during the COVID-19 process? Because I've seen a lot of
That's a really good
bad
question.
stand-up.
Actually, that's a really good question.
And a lot of
That's
bad
a good
movies.
question. I saw. What was it called? Detention, the deadliest lesson.
Do we have the same Netflix? Like I feel like you're on the dark web as far as some of your content. Just like
It's not a very good movie, but
Those glasses must be able to see things that we can't see.
Chris, go ahead while I recover from that.
good fucking title though. I love the title. Detention, the deadliest lesson.
You know what the worst movie I've seen was? Justice League War. That's the worst movie I've seen.
That's an amazing movie. That's a good movie.
Anybody who's been married during the COVID-19 crisis understands the movie Tension, apparently, and you don't have to watch it. But I would argue some of the worst. I mean, it's remarkable to me the stand-up that Netflix has been putting out, which, I mean, I'm all for entrepreneurs.
I don't even really watch stand-up on Netflix.
I don't either.
You know,
Not too much.
It's going to require a phone, so I'm going to default because I wasn't prepared for this segment because it was off the cusp. But
While he's searching, you watch Tiger King?
Fuck no.
While everyone
I
fucking
did.
in the world is
I-
watching Tiger
please
King.
I
don't
don't
make
give a
another
fuck.
You
podcast
give a
about
fuck?
Tiger
Yeah,
King.
I don't think I've never watched it either. My wife has, and she says this is fucking amazing. It's weird. It's amazing. Like
It's like a
I'm
train
watching
wreck
Ozark
You
at
can't
the
watch
moment.
away. You're like you can't look away, but it's not something.
I don't know. I mean, my wife and my daughter are too big into animals to watch it.
yeah,
I'm pretty much there too. I'm not quite as much as they are, but I'm pretty much there too. Like, I feel like I want to kick the guy's ass, but like it's just something that doesn't sound that interesting to me.
it doesn't have too much.
No,
That
it
doesn't
count
mean-
the most.
But
That doesn't mean that if I watched it, I wouldn't like it. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna prejudge and say no, I hate it. I haven't seen it. I may very well like it if I watch it. That's fine. But I haven't watched it yet. I don't have the hugest desire to watch it just because everybody says it's fantastic. Everybody says lots of things are fantastic. And it's like any other thing that's viral. Okay.
Yeah.
So side note, fuck Tiger King. But you know what? The last thing that went viral on Netflix I didn't watch was Bird Box. I still haven't watched it yet.
I still haven't watched it either. No, I still haven't.
Everybody fucking was up
Everyone
and down
watched
about
it,
Bird
but
Box.
I
I
still
still
haven't
haven't watched it yet.
No.
So once I
neither.
watch Bird Box,
Yeah.
then I will go to Tiger King.
Then you go Tiger
How about
King? Okay, sounds good. And you done? You good?
Oh yeah.
And I think we're gonna move on to.
I'm gonna leave you with two things.
What
One,
we got?
Yeah, we're not moving on yet.
Not moving on yet?
No, not yet.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
Garrett's got
So
some
take those
shit.
glasses
I got more content, and the fact that Bert Kreischer looks like a combination of if Steve and I had a very interesting baby. Bert Kreischer. I mean, I dropped down laughing the entire time that he was
Who the
going.
fuck is Bert Kreischer?
If you haven't seen it,
Okay.
he's got the quintessential dad bod, and part of his whole shtick is he takes off his shirt and he's just rocking it the entire stage and the whole way through. Like
For what though? What are we talking about here?
He's a stand-up comedian.
Oh, stand-up comedian.
And his stand-up, like, I'm sure many people watching have the married with children type of relationship.
Oh,
it is just...
You will never mention a better show than you just did right there.
No.
I know. I get it. It's not married with children comedy, but it's the life of a dad from that married perspective.
So if I do this, it's all good.
That's
right?
about where it is.
That's about where it is.
You might be a little bit more fit than him. I don't know. I have to see the stand-up and the flexing a little bit, but...
I've been known to run a mile or two in about an hour.
If someone's chasing him.
Yeah.
But the other one I wanted to mention, and I don't think prequels get enough justice, is Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul.
They're on... Holy crap, I got the high five. I feel like I can die.
I mentioned that. I mentioned that in our last episode. Better Call Saul is fantastic.
That's my next show to watch after Ozark. I gotta watch Ozark first, and then Better Call Saul is my next show to watch.
I never watched a show more than wanted me to be
Yeah.
pre-law in my entire life.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I almost went pre-law myself, and I know law is very near and dear to Chris's heart as well. Yeah. And it's just the dynamic of the sales mixed with the law degree is just it's
100%
really engaging television. So Bert Kreischer, if you want to see more of this lovely man right here, or Better Call Saul, treat yourself, and definitely a very entertaining venture.
And now we're gonna move on. I guess I should put on a shirt.
You probably should. Where did your shirt go in the first place?
It's gone. It's gone. We're gonna move on to video games.
Yes.
Video games. Our favorite.
Everybody's favorite segment.
Favorite segment.
Everybody we've ever talked to about this show,
everyone loves it.
Which is exactly zero. They all say that they like this segment. You know what? But you know what? My favorite part of the show is hearing Jenna talk about this stuff while we play pool and make asses out of ourselves.
There you go.
I like pool.
And Jeznar, a.k.a. Jeznar, whatever you want to call yourself.
I always fuck it up.
Here we go. We're going to listen to her video game segment. She's going to give us a bunch of information on video games. Enjoy.
Put a shirt on.
Oh, okay.
Thanks guys for having me back on your show. Hey everyone, it's Jeznar with more video game news. But before I continue, Chris, were you able to pick up Final Fantasy VII the remake? If so, please tell me how you liked it. If not, seriously get on that. The game is amazing. There are games that since their release have implemented a ton of new content and changes over time. We all know how different gaming is now compared to the 80s and the 90s. Games these days are evolving, changing, growing. They are basically living organisms. Once a game is released to the public, it's hardly the final edition. Bugs need to be ironed out, consumer response is closely monitored. Some game developers will be maintaining, updating, and improving these games for years. With that in mind, here are 2 games whose core gameplay have changed since their release. First, Fallout 76 for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Released by Bethesda on November 2018, it was the very first online multiplayer game to be introduced to the Fallout series. But, disappointingly to fans, Fallout 76 was plagued with bugs, balancing issues, no NPCs, and very little Fallout personality. Even the demo had weird issues like breaking consoles and randomly downloading a copy of Skyrim to your hard drive. Bethesda knew they needed to give players a reason to return back to Fallout 76. So, to remedy this issue, on April 14th, they released Wastelanders. This is a free expansion for all Fallout 76 owners. This update brings an entirely new story, a dialogue system, NPCs, factions, ally recruitment, and more bug fixes. These new additions could bring back Fallout fans to give 76 another go. Chris and Steve, what do you guys think? And second, No Man's Sky. Released on August 9th, 2016 by Hello Games, it's proven that hard work and perseverance can accomplish a successful and beloved game. When the game was first released, the public response was abysmal. Consumers felt as if they were cheated out of a finished game, and over 95% of No Man's Sky's copies purchased were returned. Luckily, I was one of the 5% who held on to their copy, and I'm thankful that I did. Since release, Hello Games has remained working hard on No Man's Sky by launching a huge milestone update every single year. 2017 had Atlas Rises. It added a main storyline for players to complete and an online component. 2018 had Next. That added base building and suit personalization. 2019, Beyond. That's when No Man's Sky came to VR. And in 2020, the Echo Mech. That adds mech suits called Minotaurs to the game, as well as ectocraft qualities players can enjoy. Most important of all, these updates are free to anyone who has a copy of No Man's Sky. There are a lot of great one-player games we can enjoy, but if you're stuck at home with your families and roommates, some couch co-op games can come in handy. Here are a few hidden gems I would consider adding to your list. Castle Crashers, available on all previous gen and current gen consoles. It's a beat-em-up 1 to 4 player side-scroller with unlockable weapons, tons of different characters, stat level-ups, and an array of RPG elements. Castle Crashers is mostly cooperative, but with a twist. At the end of each boss fight, all players face off with the winner receiving a kiss from the princess. This game has extremely high replay value, fun in-house music, and an all-around lack of seriousness. Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition and the sequel Divinity Original Sin 2 released on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. These are both couch co-op, split-screen, RPG, turn-based fantasy adventure games. This franchise boasts depth, personality, combat challenges, complex systems, and a beautiful overworld. Fans often compare its gameplay and personality to Dungeons & Dragons. Resident Evil 5 and 6 both offer 2-player couch co-op. These two are still on my list to play, but I've heard the pacing and the story are done very well, and there's a lot of replayability. Quick side note, Resident Evil Revelations 2 does offer 2-player couch co-op, but with an important distinction. The second player doesn't get to shoot a gun, but instead is a support character to player 1. So keep that in mind when deciding which game to purchase and play. And to sum up, here's a short list of more great couch co-op games. Jack Party Box, Heave Ho, Overcooked 1 and 2, Knack 1 and 2, Nex Machina, Enter the Gungeon, Secret of Mana, Man of Medan, Rayman Legends, Trine Collection, Borderlands, and many more. Here are a few upcoming games set to release sometime after 2020 to keep your eye on. Resident Evil 4 Remake. This game has been ported and remastered several times, but never fully remade. Resident Evil 3 Remake was a huge success, giving a ton of momentum to another Resident Evil remake. That being said, Resident Evil 4 Remake is set to release sometime in 2022 with Capcom, Redworks, M2, and Jamatsu working closely together. Beyond Good and Evil 2, an action-adventure RPG that takes place in the 24th century. Players are space pirates attempting to take back control from evil corporations. This massive game has some big shoes to fill, offering decision-based events, planets with their own societies, spacecraft and crew customization, as well as a human-animal hybrid character customization. No news on release date, but we do know that it will not be one of the 5 AAA titles released by Ubisoft this year. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, the sequel to Ninja Theory's critically acclaimed Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. This now Xbox exclusive gives a small insight to 8th century Celtic culture, the brutality of Norsemen and their gods, and most importantly, providing education about those suffering psychosis. Hellblade is not to be taken lightly. The combat system is challenging yet rewarding. The story and the visuals are breathtaking. Even the scientific community positively supports the development of these games. No word on a release date yet, but this is one I'll definitely have my eye on. And to finish up, I've added a quick exception to my list of games coming out after 2020, but that's because Nintendo is celebrating Mario's 35th anniversary. They've decided to port to the Switch some of his most famous and well-beloved games. This includes a release of Super Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, and even a deluxe edition of Super Mario 3D World. But, most importantly, Mario fans get to look forward to a new Paper Mario game coming to the Nintendo Switch. I just had to sneak this one in here. I know there are a lot of Mario fans out there, so this one's some exciting news. Now it is time for my video game themed beer recommendation. But before I begin, be sure to follow me on Untappd at Jeznar. There you can see the almost 400 unique beers I've had the pleasure enjoying. So, this month, I would like to showcase a video game themed beer that I have personally tried. Brewed by Sound Brewery, this Mortal Kombat X Scorpion Imperial Stout was brewed in celebration of Mortal Kombat 10's release in April 2015. And it boasts spicy chili flavors with a complement of sweet Madagascar vanilla. The main side notes in this 8% stout are licorice nibs, caramel malt, bittersweet chocolate, and perfumed floral hop bitters. I bought this beer as a bomber from my local Bevmo around November 2016, as well as its counterpart, the Mortal Kombat X Sub-Zero Imperial IPA. I enjoyed the Scorpion Stout more than the Sub-Zero IPA because it had a lot more opposition of flavor and it had a strong balance of spicy and sweet, but it was still smooth going down. Unfortunately, Sound Brewery has closed production since late 2019, so you'll have to move fast to get your hands on this limited edition beer. And that about sums up this month's video game themed beer. Chris and Steve, what are some of your favorite stouts? Before I let you go, here's a quick list of games being delayed due to the COVID breakout. Fairy Tail was March 20th, now June 25th. Last of Us 2 was May 29th, now June 19th. Marvel's Avengers was May 15th, now September 4th. Iron Man VR was February 28th, and now May 15th. Minecraft Dungeons was April, now May 26th. And last, Death Stranding, the PC version, was June 2nd, now releasing July 14th. And that's it for this month's gaming news and video game themed beer. Thanks, Steve and Chris, for having me back on your show, and be sure to check back with us next month for some more gaming news. Jeznar signing out.
Thank you, Jeznar, for that awesome video game.
Did you guys hire the chick
segment
from GameStop? Like, what the hell was that? That's awesome.
Yeah, it's my cousin.
Dude, I swear to God, like every time I walk into GameStop, I'm sure she's like following me, telling me about all the
She doesn't fuck around. She knows her shit.
She knows her shit.
Insane.
She
Does not
knows
fuck
her
around.
shit. Thank you, Jeznar, for that awesome
You are awesome.
video game insight. You blow us away every time.
You are the woman.
Yes.
No, I have
What?
not gotten Final Fantasy VII yet.
I think you need to think about it though, because one of my fondest memories when I was growing up,
Dude, I want to think about it. Trust me.
I want to see what it looks like remastered, because I
Yes.
remember my middle brother, I was not into RPGs growing up, and this was the first one beyond The Legend of Zelda that he'd brought up, and he was sitting there playing it. And I would sit there and watch him for hours, just like I can only imagine. This is really what established Final Fantasy as
Yes.
that like
Absolutely.
dynamic RPG.
Absolutely.
And beer, hold on. Go for it.
And I am so interested in it. I want to see, because my only reticence again is I'm kind of a stickler for the turn-based stuff, and I know they're kind of going into more of a hybrid turn-based action element.
His metal, his movies, his TV shows. It's a very difficult man to hang out with. Let
He
me tell
is.
you.
He's very stubborn in his ways. He thinks he knows it all. Sometimes he's right. Actually, most of the time.
Well, here's a hot
unfortunately,
take. I'm not excited about anything Resident Evil that's coming out, let alone Fallout 76.
And you know what? And you know what? That's why you can go fuck yourself. Because Resident Evil 4 remake, I am all over.
Yes,
honestly,
sir. Yes,
I will say it almost doesn't need a remake because it's fantastic on its own. I still have the GameCube version. I can go back and play it whenever I want. I still have it downloaded on the PS3. I can go back and play it whenever I want.
Get on PS3,
but you know what? I would not mind having it remastered because if I played it again and it's just slightly remastered, you know what? It's still fun. It would be like an excuse just to play it again.
It's kind of like the Uncharted games. Like I know you got me into that series and what you were talking about as far as that being a really good element that now I'm seeing on the PS4.
Yes.
And it's nothing wrong with the Resident Evil series. It's not. It's just the games that I've personally been playing. The Red Dead Redemption 2. I know it's a little bit older, but also, and then The Witcher 3, as far as...
it's so different, though. It's not a fair comparison. Because Resident Evil 4, to me, is to be fair, you can not connect with other Resident Evil games, and I understand that. But Resident Evil 4 is the one game where, to me, everybody can connect to on a mainstream level, to where it is really the game where they took Resident Evil into a direction that can connect with everybody. It can connect with fans of Resident Evil that are into the horror element, the survival horror element, but it can also connect on a purely action shooter element because it is one of the best action shooter games I've ever played. It's just so much fun from a gameplay standpoint to play. It really is, and the Resident Evil games don't always have that.
Yeah.
They don't always have that gameplay element to where you're like, this is really fun to play. A lot of times they're great from a survival horror standpoint, but the gameplay can kind of suffer in elements. Resident Evil 4 refined that to such a great degree and combined it with the survival horror aspect to where it was the perfect balance. And it was so fun to play, and it was like a game you never wanted to end. You just wanted to keep playing, keep upgrading, keep going to new areas, and it was so much fun. And the remastered version, honestly, can only, or remake, whatever it is, can only improve on it so much, but it would just be fun just to go back and play that game.
It would be fun playing.
It's just always fun to go back and play it again.
I guess I don't have the nostalgia along with it, but I mean, I've got GameFly. I might as well take a shot at it. I mean, I'm willing.
GameFly.
But one I will not keep an open mind to was Fallout 76. Like that was just trash. I'm sorry.
What she said that they've kind of updated it. They give you a free.
You could wrap a turd in golden plastic and still a turd. I liked Fallout, and there was like a certain element, like you get to the end of it, and you're just like it's almost like an animal you're trying to take outside because you know it's past its prime.
Yeah,
some of these Fallout series need to be taken down and put down.
It happens, man.
But also, what she talked about is the Mortal Kombat beers. Okay. So
beer.
As if you couldn't tap into something I like with Resident Evil 4, you gotta start talking about Mortal Kombat beers. I am such a gigantic Mortal Kombat. I can't even express how much of a Mortal Kombat fan I am. It's such a okay. Good stuff. We talked about how the nostalgia of growing up in the 90s, right? 80s and 90s.
Grew up super religious. We weren't allowed to watch Mortal Kombat.
Right, but doesn't that make it that much more awesome?
It does.
Dude, I've never seen one. I've never seen a Mortal Kombat movie or game play.
Fuck the movies.
What?
The games.
Don't worry
where
about
it's at.
I just haven't played movies.
First movie's good.
You've never...
I've never played Mortal Kombat.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine my life without it. No, literally. I cannot imagine
I don't understand
my life without it.
How you don't play Mortal Kombat either 1 or 2 and don't fucking throw your remote at the fucking TV. how do you not do that?
Yes.
This is fucking ridiculous.
I'm just
never... It's like key to those games.
I am a child of the 80s and 90s, and Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat.
That's played Street Fighter 2, but just Mortal Kombat apparently.
Okay, so we went to the arcade in Temecula, right?
Yep.
The bar that has old school arcade games. I'm like, Mortal Kombat 2, I'm like, I'm going straight to that fucking game and I'm playing. Why? Because it's part of my soul. Like it literally is something that like I can't imagine not having in my life.
Yeah.
It is that important. It is that big of a deal. I played it so much. Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, all of them. So a beer that has Mortal Kombat's name on it, I'm sold. I mean, I'm sold. You don't have to do much. I'm sold at that point. I will try it. I will drink it. She mentioned that it's hard.
It's hard to find now. We gotta fucking.
Which is a shame. But you know what? Hey, another reason. Yeah. Hey, you want to guest star on this show, Jenna? Because find that beer, bring it. I'll drink them all for you. I won't even leave any for you.
Can't be any worse than the IPA that I brought. No.
If you can find it, bring it. If I can find it, I'll supply it. Whatever.
She did ask us, "What's her favorite stout beer?" She did ask us.
It's a good question because we don't drink a lot of stouts.
Not
because
too much.
we're in California where they almost hide stouts from me because they want you to drink IPAs.
Well, the Belching Beaver that you've got going on,
it's
not a bad
Go ahead
beer.
and show that. Show that right
That's
now.
really the one.
So
Belching Beaver
so
is a beer in Vista, California, which is North San Diego County. They make a really good stout. It's a peanut butter milk stout. It's delicious.
Very delicious.
It really is delicious. They also make a variation of this called the Mexican chocolate peanut butter milk stout, which is just this beer
delicious
with a Mexican chocolate flavor added in. So if you like stouts, you like peanut butter, and if
you like making bad decisions after 4 of them,
if that description doesn't make you salivate, then I don't know what's wrong with you. I can't help you. But you know what?
Fucking delicious beer.
A stout with peanut butter and Mexican chocolate. Oh.
Never had that one.
You know what?
Have to get that
there are a few things in this world that can make me more happy than a Mortal Kombat themed beer, and it's something with Mexican chocolate and peanut butter.
or choosing his favorite Bond character.
Yeah. That was Lex.
That doesn't make me happy. That makes me stressed. There's a difference.
What was next? We got Last of Us is coming out in June, right? She's June like 16th or something like that, right?
Well, no. It's June of next year.
Next year. So it's like, God damn it, dude! That fucking game gives me more time. Gives me more time to replay the first one.
I'm just gonna wait and be patient. He has no idea what we're talking about right now because Captain Xbox.
No. Okay, I'm sorry. I got PlayStation a little bit late in the game, but like I said, huge Witcher 3 fan. You're telling me you're not a little bit excited about Cyberpunk coming out?
Of course,
Cyberpunk.
Yeah. That's last episode.
That was.
I'm sorry. I only started watching the show after I was.
Why don't you watch episode 2 before you guest star on our episode 3? Fuck. God damn it, bro.
Doesn't make it any better.
Yes, Cyberpunk. Looking forward to. Last of Us, as we already talked about, looking greatly forward to. I'm just gonna wait and see whatever. It comes out when it comes out.
It comes out. It's obviously gonna be amazing when it comes out. We got high hopes.
Okay, so
I think it's gonna be amazing.
So you just got in to start playing the Uncharted series, right? Mm-hmm. So by the way, I've been on the Uncharted series since the very first one came out. Mm-hmm. I just got the Nathan Drake collection, the remastered Uncharted trilogy, the original trilogy for PS4. I just started playing that. Fun stuff. I've already played all of them. I played all the PS4 ones and everything. He just started playing.
Yeah.
So, Last of Us, I played the first one. I obviously know everything Naughty Dog's doing. But just so you know, Last of Us was the game that Naughty Dog, the development company, did after Uncharted. So
interesting.
So that was their kind of and it was the kind of the PS3 swan song. It was the last great game on PS3.
Yes, it was. Yes.
And it was.
Did you ever get the PS4 remastered?
Yes, I have.
Yes, yeah.
Haven't played it.
Apparently, I'm late to the party with the PlayStation thing. I've been born and bred Xbox, and just I've got big girly hands.
Halo raping motherfucker.
I didn't say Halo. Fuck Halo. No, it's more.
That's the first.
No, trust me, Halo sucks. I've always been more of just the overall gameplay. I think just Xbox is a little bit cleaner, a little bit nicer. I'm more of the Battlefield, the Call of Duty type element.
But that's on both of them.
I get it.
Multi-platform.
But again, it was I like Xbox better. I personally do. I think it's a little bit cleaner.
Bullshit.
I just user play. I think the controllers are better. I think it's just overall
Nonsense.
I like elements of PlayStation, and I'm getting used to it. But you were the one telling me to get PlayStation 4 and get the Pro version, and I did, and I'm playing it now, and it's just there are certain elements I like, and certain elements where it's like I miss my Xbox a little bit. I still have it, obviously, but it's there was a PlayStation game that we were talking about the other night that you had like waxed poetically as far as painting the picture, where like I almost couldn't not rent this game, and it was I don't remember what it was called, but it's literally on my desk. It's the next one to go into. It was the guy from The Walking Dead.
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Tell them a little bit about Death Stranding. I mean, you probably already know about it, maybe, but like I had only seen previews of it.
Death Stranding is kind of a it's hard to explain.
When I'm like 1:30 in the morning, it's just like I'm just gonna rent it, bro. You tell me about it. Like I don't know what to tell you.
You still watching? We're about 30 minutes in deep here. You still watching?
So
let's go. Death Stranding.
It's a futuristic kind of sci-fi game that has metaphysical kind of philosophical elements that.
Much like the metal that he listens to. So if you were caught on that, by all means, invest in this game right here.
But it's kind of high concept. So if you can imagine the idea of a high concept game to where it makes you think beyond normal games. Like you mentioned.
His description made me think beyond normal games. I don't even know what to expect. So I'm waiting for it to be turned on in my head just to explode.
For example,
sure.
You mentioned, I'm used to playing like Call of Duty and Battlefield on Xbox.
Sure.
I mean, it makes compared to Death Stranding, it makes you seem like you have.
Do you know how sinister you sound by saying that, though? I'm sorry, I enjoy blow 'em up games a little bit. It's not my core bread and butter.
It's just different. I mean, okay. We had a segment a while ago where we were talking about progressive music and Tool, right?
Sure.
And A Perfect Circle. So, and then you brought up Incubus.
I still can't believe you.
I didn't say Matchbox 20 or Nickelback. Hi, Rick. But
bring it back full circle.
Shit.
Incubus is Battlefield and Call of Duty, right?
All right.
Death Stranding is the crazy progressive band that blows your mind that you're like, this is so different.
Tool. It's okay.
No. This is so different. This is so not what I expected. And it's unlike anything I've ever played. That's what Death Stranding is. So I can try to explain it to you from a storyline standpoint. I could try to say, hey, this is what it compares to. This is what's like. No.
Hopefully if I didn't blow the entire beer budget, maybe they'll invite me back when I've actually played it a couple of months from now. And I don't.
And you'll probably be like, you know what? I hate it. I want to go back to playing Battlefield on Xbox. And then I'll be like, well, see,
I just want my Incubus and my Battlefield, and just I want to go home happy. But gentlemen, it's been fun. Thank you for having me on, and hopefully better beer and maybe better conversation if we're not speaking.
Choose a little better beer next time.
Definitely better beer, better haircuts, better mustaches. The beards are okay. I think the beard is fine. So, but everything else will be better next time.
You can go fuck yourself.
Please?
I'm the best.
You promise?
I promise. I'm the best looking guy on this fucking show.
I'm not sure that's saying much.
Comment if you agree. Also, I'm going to take this time, make sure you...
do me a favor.
What?
Also comment if you disagree.
I'm just here for the beer.
Make sure you comment, subscribe on our YouTube show, whatever you want, Instagram, Twitter, blah, blah, blah. We'll get you going.
Thank you, Jenna, for your video game segment. I also want to say that Iron Man VR sounds awesome. I'm the only guy here that has VR, so
I don't. Yeah,
I don't play it that often because I'm a lazy ass motherfucker. But you know what?
Iron Man
VR sounds pretty fucking awesome. I mean, you can't get much better than that.
Sure.
Right? So, thank you very much, and we will see you next time.
And we'll say cheers and good night. Get your fucking beer, bro. Cheers. Get you later.